So this is probably going to be one of my less funny videos. Just giving you a heads up. I was sitting there watching Open Range, Kevin Costner and Duvall, and came to the scene where the street was flooding and they had to wade across. And the thought came to me that wading through water that's steep and might knock your feet out from under you is a good analogy for life in general, in time. Because our upper half of our body, we're reaching out for what we can control, what we can affect. Lower half of our body, you ain't affecting that. And life's a lot like that. There's a whole lot in this world that you cannot affect. You can't change it. But that's all right. As long as you understand that you're wading. And if you're wading, and you understand that you're wading, then you know how to control what you can control and abandon wishing to control what you can't. So maybe the reason that popped in my head, besides that little trigger of the old Western movie, was that I about drowned many years ago. Just trying to swim across a little inlet of the lake down at PC Park. And me and my ex-wife wasn't even married yet. We was just dating in our first year. She's laying on the beach in a bikini, looking fine. I decided I'm going to swim across this little stretch of water here. She said, "You'll drown." I said, "No, I won't." Good Lord. Whatever. Almost drowned. So I'm swimming. I'm like, I was full on determined. There was no real gray area where I went from, am I going to make it? No, I went from straight determination all the way to pure exhaustion and then said, I'm not going to make it. So I turned around to see that the opposite bank was now further than the bank that I'd been swimming toward. So I'm past the point of no return. Quickest way out is through. There's another good analogy for life. Quickest way out is through. That happens a lot. So I'm struggling and I'm going under, and I'm to the point where I'm about to start pulling water into my lungs. And every time that happens, I panic and I shoot straight back up. Then I grab another breath of air and dig deeper than I thought existed. And I did that about 3 times in a row. You know, a very wise dude once said that you can have a psychedelic experience without taking psychedelics. You just have to drive your car off a cliff, 300-foot cliff, and watch that ground coming up at you and know what's going to happen and be okay with it, because you can't change it. That's a psychedelic experience. So yeah, I guess you could say this was probably my first psychedelic experience. About the 3rd time up, I turn around to Peggy and I go like this, and she didn't see me. And so took a deep breath. Then I figured out if I roll over on my back, yeah. And I remember my mama telling me that. It's the only way my mom could swim. And she said, I'll never worry about drowning because I can always roll over on my back and I can stay afloat forever. And I remembered that. So that probably saved my life. Anyway, I don't want to drag this damn story on and on, but I'm looking at the other shore and I'm dropping down, and every time I'm convinced I'm probably not going to come back up, and that kicks it in a little deeper. Finally, I went down and my knee hit mud. So, because I was swimming like this as fast as I could. I didn't know, I probably could have stood up. Yeah, like 30 feet earlier. Anyway, so I wasn't as close to death as I thought I was. when my knee hit mud, I stood straight the fuck up and was like, it was below my waist. But, all right. Anyway, that's my story for today. Hopefully there's some funny shit in there. We'll see.